Angelo, tell me about environmental policy at Kaba.
Well, environmental policy at Kaba has always been something that's been very close to our hearts, and we've always prided ourselves on the way that we deal with waste and look after what is truly a lovely site where we work. But I think we've moved into a new phase in terms of our environmental policy, with the latest edition of 14001 having achieved that accreditation. And it's opened the door to a different world really for us in terms of looking at our environment. There's a clear commercial credibility that 14001 brings from a business point of view, but more so the really important element of it is how do we look at our environment on a larger scale and make that a sustainable environment. So really our drive is not only to take the environment that we work in forward over the next 10, 20, 30 years, but also the supply chains that we're tied into. Is how do we make those supply chains more sustainable, not just for ourselves as a business, but all our stakeholders, our customers, our suppliers, and the community that we work in.
How do you answer sometimes the cynicism that exists around things like 14001, that it's just a label that companies put on themselves?
It's very easy to see why people say that, because like I said, there's definitely a commercial credibility to it. But I think it comes down to the organisation, is what is your absolute driver for getting 14001? If you're after a label, you can get the label, as with most things, but if behind that there's a substance, behind that we'll have a label, but at the same time we'll have a substance of a really sustainable environment, a sustainable facility, and a workforce that buys into that day in and day out, then I think the critics can say what they want to say. The proof will be in the pudding.
And having got 14001 and obviously achieved the standards necessary to do that, where do you go from here? I mean, can you get even greener?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you're ever too green. 14001 as an accreditation is you have this accreditation, you have met the world-class standard or the international standard, but now it's about making that work on a day-to-day basis. It's all good and well getting the tick in the box, but you've got to make it work and you've got to make it last. That's ultimately what 14001 is about. It's not about the label, it's about the sustainability. How do we make our environment and our supply chains sustainable?